3 ways to turn her challenges into attraction. I think many guys out there, when it comes to the game and everything, I need you guys to really listen closely to me because, excuse me, catching a cold here, is that we have to realize that every woman that we deal with when it comes to the game is always looking to do something. And as I said to you guys before, even on the live shows, the most important thing that we have to do as men is it's very important to create the battle between her emotions and her logic. And when a woman begins to challenge you, because they always will, what happens, guys, is that you don't want a ceasefire between her emotions and her logic, because the moment there is a ceasefire, there will always be a simple rebellion of her not only challenging you, but her not respecting you at all. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And this is not because a woman hates you or anything like that. And it's not because she's out to destroy you young men or anything like that. It's because at the end of the day, if you think about women, they just want the truth. They just want to know, what are you behind the exterior of that smile and everything you're doing? And when a woman feels something is off a little bit, she's going to actually turn around and try to challenge you. And what she's trying to do actually is just trying to strip away parts of you to get understanding, okay, who is this guy and why is this guy? And why is it that this person is doing actually what he says he's doing and everything like that? Because there's something inside of her that just doesn't feel comfortable and it doesn't feel safe. And this is where a lot of men collapse. This is where, unfortunately, because they don't lock themselves in the game, they actually betray themselves. And in the moment they start to get tested and they either play more defense than offense, or they get rattled or they get emotional or anything like that, it seems like it's a shift in where they start to try to scramble to fix it or try to get things right. And what happens with the woman is she actually sees weakness. And once she sees weakness, gentlemen, she can't unsee that. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I want to help you guys out. And guys, if you're brand new, I am Steve the Dean Williams. I've been doing this for over 3 decades, man, teaching guys the game. Gentlemen, we have YouTube shorts, videos. Also, guys, the Halloween game is out. So if you want to learn how to pick up women through trick-or-treating, you want to learn how to pick up women with a costume, or if you have one with Sexoween, nobody has what we have. We're the only ones that have it. So guys, check that out. And also, guys, if you want to join us, we are always live. We're always live. So you can always call me, talk to me one-on-one when you have issues, problems, or questions or anything like that. But enough of all of that. I want to talk about what's going on when it comes to the challenges, because when a woman challenges you, what should I do at that point? How should I move? And the thing about a man, when you are locked into who you are, one thought, one mind, one way, I don't worry about the test. I really love when a woman thinks that she can try to force or challenge me and try to force me into this weird ass corner. It's not going to happen when you actually have game. The thing is, when you have this game, I welcome all those challenges and everything. And you know what? To me, I look at every test out there to actually be a doorway into what? A doorway into attraction. Doorway into her understanding that I don't play games, and also a doorway to me being a dominated, authentic man like you guys can actually be. And what I'm going to break down today are 3 ways that you can actually take a moment and flip her challenges so you can create more attraction versus rebellion. And this is the whole thing that's so cool, with no tricks, no gimmicks, no lies, no manipulation, but pure unadulterated power. And that means just you being you. That's it. That's all we're saying. So the first one is that when a woman starts to try to take the throne, always remember, guys, we're the only one that's going to say this. When there is a ceasefire between what's between her legs and what's between her mind, That is when she's going to try to take the throne. Okay. She's going to try to conquer you when that happens. Okay. And what I'm saying to all of you out here, when that begins to happen, what we have to do as men is we have to make sure that we're very careful in all the things that we say, all the things we do. Probably, hey, ladies, gosh, all the things we say and all the things that we do. And what is very important is the first thing we have to do is actually game this out, gentlemen. And I got you covered. I just want y'all to game it and think this through. When a woman is trying to take the throne or trying to challenge you to see what kind of man you are, it is so important to detach from the outcome, okay? Your power is going to be this simple. If you detach from an outcome that you're worried about, because if a woman challenges you, sometimes it rattles you and sometimes you're worried the outcome can mean that, oh no, I'm not going to get the woman. Oh no, she's not going to be interested in me. And oh no, I don't have a shot at that or anything like that. No, what happens is that we don't have to, the outcomes of, oh my God, is she going to pull away from me? Okay. When she pulls back, sometimes a lot of guys will panic. When she questions the individual, the person will start to scramble and try to come up with the right thing to say. Okay. When she shows some type of a coldness to that individual, he'll start to freak out. And we don't need to do that as men. Not one thought, one mind, one way. We don't do that. Okay. At the end of the day, you see, the truth is the moment you care too much about what happens, guys, you've already lost. And I don't want you to care about what she's doing because this is not coming from her. This is coming from rebellion, okay? All right? And she can feel it. She feels the fear. She can notice it. She can see the desperation. And nothing kills her being turned on more than somebody that just sits around and says, okay, I'm going to hold the white flag up. And this is why when it comes to this, it's very important to move differently. Not because, okay, I'm not moving to seek anything. I don't care about her approval. I am just setting a standard. And that's what I'm saying for many of you guys out there, if and when you set the standard. Because once the standard is set, everything then begins to change. When it comes to a standard, I think most guys fail to recognize this, is that you hold the power. You sit on the throne. It is your crown. And as long as you're sitting on the throne and you recognize your power, your value, your worth, and you stand on your throne and set things apart and not look at the outcome to say, I'm going to lose her. Why don't we think about her losing us for a moment? It changes up everything. So what happens for many guys out there that don't look at themselves as a man, and I've always tried to push you guys out here to say and recognize that you are the prize. You are the man. It is your birthright to lead these interactions and everything. She can test me. She can pull away. She can challenge me and everything. And I got this covered. I'm not going to run away. I'm actually going to give pushback. And do you see the difference? And see, when you start to show her or stand on your square, and then one thought, one mind, one way, you actually show her your self-worth. And while everybody else is trying to work on the outside and begging for what's on the outside, I'm drawing her in. What is going to break up the ceasefire between her emotions and her mind is a man that stands on a square. Because once you stand on your square, you change everything up. And see, detachment is always going to give you an edge, gentlemen, from everything. Because I'm not looking for the result. Because you know what? At the end of the day, you are the end result. And I think women are not used to men moving that way at all. And when she realizes that you're not afraid to lose her, okay, she starts to realize at that point that, you know what? Oh, snap. This guy cannot be moved. He cannot be touched. And there's nothing that I can do to change his mind. That's when you win. And this is at the point she's going to start asking herself the question, why isn't he chasing me? Not me, but why aren't you chasing? Why don't you care? And what makes you so sure of yourself? Who the hell do you think you are? She's thinking, you're such an asshole. You're such a jerk. You're narcissistic. You're stubborn. You're stuck up. Who do you think you are? But you know what? Let me text him. Let me see what he's doing. Let me reach out so I can see if he and I can get back together. That's part of the game that I want you guys to soak up and lock up. And when you can do that, curiosity right there is not only going to not create, it's going to end the ceasefire, but it's also going to create a different aspect of the game that most men don't see. Remember, guys, we want to become the man that hits the emotion, that fights for us when it comes to her logic and all that BS that she thinks that she is, as thinking she's special. Also, at the end of the day, never ever, when she tries to challenge you or anything, always remember, reward respect. Don't tolerate disrespect. When a woman is respectful of you, and I love the respect that a woman has when she'll call you, women are going to respect you and calling you and let you know that, you know what, hey, baby, how you doing? This is what's going on. Hey, baby, I want to let you know that this is what I have doing. I'm doing this. I got this going on. And I want to let you know I'm talking even going to the guys, gentlemen, I'm going to tell you one of the coolest things, and y'all have to prepare yourself for this because it's coming when you get this game. She's going to be at the department store or the lingerie, like a Victoria's Secret or something like that. And she's like, you know what? There's some clothes I want to try on. Can you come with me to the fitting room? You're like, wait a second, fitting room? I'm talking about through the phone, go live. And she's going to take that phone, sit it down, and she's going to take her clothes off and start wearing outfits for you, showing you the respect of the man that you actually are. And that's what I love the most. But the second she tries to test your boundaries, the second she tries to question you, as I was telling somebody on the other show, is that I had a woman I was with for 3 years. Well, I wasn't with her, she was with me, but we were kicking it for 3 years. And she decided to listen to other people try to tell her, you know what, you're special and all this other stuff. And if he really cares about you, we call him Mr. Salt. The one trying to throw salt in your game. If he really cared about you, he would cut all his girlfriends off, chirping in their ears. So she thinks she can come back to me, and she thinks she can start to tell me what I should be doing as far as the two of us. I had to let her go because you can't come from the throne. You come from the throne by trying to tell me how to live my life, especially, or try to tell me to cut off women. I'm getting rid of you and I'm moving on. She cannot get away with disrespect at all or challenge you. And you guys, you have to understand this. Listen, the thing that is good, and I know some of you don't understand this, is that tests can be a good thing because women at the end of the day are not going to test a person that they don't care about. When they care about you, they just need to see the level of how they feel about you. And that's why when they test you, that's when they're trying to see what kind of man you are at the end of the day. Once she can recognize what kind of man you are at the end of the day, then that allows her an idea of how she should think, how she should move, and how she should behave. And when she recognizes how she should think, move, and behave, everything right there begins to change. And I think that's one of the major problems a lot of guys are having in this game. So guys, this is something that is very important that you just have to understand when it comes to women. But don't reward disrespect when a woman is doing that, because a woman is always going to try to test you in any possible way. And when a woman tries to test you in any possible way, that's when it's time to go ahead and say to her, you know what, this just isn't working out. This is not for you. It's not for me. We're just not moving this way. But last but not least, let's get to that. I just want to take a moment to talk to y'all. Last but not least is that the one thing that you have to do that really is going to draw her in. Women are nothing but chaos. They're very emotional. They're up and down, left and right. They're very emotional, stuck with a lot of chaos. And what women need is a calm in the storm. And that is one of the most attractive traits that you can have when it comes to this game. And that is why it is so important you stay cool under fire. You must be, they used to call it a cool hand Luke. Was that, shout out to Robert Redford? Was Robert Redford, was Robert Redford Cool Hand Luke? I forgot who Cool, there used to be a movie called Cool Hand Luke, because Robert Redford, I think, passed away, but was it Robert Redford as Cool Hand Luke? Okay, anyway, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking, but you got to be cool under fire at the end of the way, okay? See, the third way of drawing her in and being that magnetic person is to be laid back, okay? When the heat comes your way, because the heat is going to come, when there is a ceasefire and there is a rebellion and there is attack upon your kingdom or your empire, you must be cool under pressure. What throws a woman off is a man that is used to women doing this. I even had a client that had a woman. It's funny, client I had a woman that tried to tell him and intimidate him by telling him about all the guys that she has and all the other stuff, trying to actually throw him off and make him insecure about himself. But because he was cool under pressure and everything, what he did was he said, hey, look, I understand where you're coming from. I understand you have all these guys, but you know what, man? I totally get it because you know what? I feel it, man. I've got, I won't say I have as many guys as you have, but I totally get when a lot of women are pursuing you and they change the whole dynamics because women are not used to that kind of pushback. If women throw men in your face, okay, they just want to notice your insecurity level. They just want to see, are you going to be upset, mad, or moved by the fact that she is seeing other guys and things like that? I'm not saying throw women in your, I'm not saying throw women in another woman's face. What I'm saying is what's so cool about the game is that you have an understanding. I get it. If you have women, you can relate to what she's saying, and women aren't used to that thing right there. So where most guys who got to fail when there is a rebellion or somebody's actually trying to attack the kingdom, most of y'all guys take the bait. And y'all have to remember, when it comes to women, it's not about the bait. It's the hook that the bait is attached on. And as long as you don't do that, you're not actually going to become a puppet to what's happening and what she's saying. When you are cool under fire and everything, it's such a great power dynamic because women are not used to men moving that way. Women are not used to men saying that, hey, you know what, she'll throw other men or situations. Because one thing women like to do is say, okay, if I'm going to mess with this person, is he going to be insecure because other men are pursuing me as well? And when you're laid back and cool, that's why I always give them an offer they can't refuse. See other men, date other men, do your thing. I don't care. I'm not running by. I am never going to try to prove my value and my worth to a woman. We just don't do that as men. One thought, one mind, one way. So what I'm saying to all you guys out here and closing in all this, you got to understand, a lot of tests that women have are not actually going to be punishment, okay? They're just things to just see where you're at because she's just trying to gauge where you're at because so many guys wear masks and women are just not used to the mask. And because a woman's not used to the mask, she's just trying to understand what kind of a man you are. What man are you to me? And once she can recognize that you can stay cool under pressure and you're laid back, you don't reward disrespect and things like that, you're actually going to change the whole entire game around because at that point, the ceasefire will begin to become a battle. Remember, guys, we want to create the battle between what's between her legs and her emotions versus her belief system, her values, morals, and judgments. Now, remember, guys, before we end this up, always remember, there is going to be a moment of ceasefire. So understand that. And if there is a moment of ceasefire, this isn't a bad thing. So do not panic. Okay. It's just at that point, she's just saying, I don't really understand you that much. And I'm just trying to gauge is if what you're doing, are you the real deal or are you just playing games? So just remember that at the end of the day, guys. And I do appreciate you guys. And guys, if you enjoyed this content right here, gentlemen, you'll love what we're having right here. But guys, hey, listen, guys, I want to know what you think about this. And before we even end this, I do want to ask you guys this question. Have you ever been in a position where a woman had a ceasefire? Now this is a new term that we're giving you guys that are our terms, but have you ever had a ceasefire? Have you ever had a situation in which a woman decided to challenge you? And if she challenged you, what happened? I'd like to know in the comments and everything. But anyway, as I was saying before, this is the end of the video, but not the end of the discussion. Gentlemen, if you like this video and everything like that, you're going to love the video you're watching right now. I look forward to talking to you guys, man. Soak up this game. And remember, as long as you're doing this thing, you can always draw out her attraction. We'll talk soon.